Good evening. This is All India Radio and I am Valsa Williams with the news at 9. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi calls for a collective fight against poverty, corruption and violence. Addressing Governing Council of NITI Aayog, Mr. Modi says everyone has to work towards achieving the goal of New India by 2022. Centre asks states to consider enacting specific legislation for protecting doctors and medical professionals. Death toll due to encephalitis in Bihar rises to 75. Health Minister Dr. Vardhan to visit the state tomorrow to take stock of the situation. In hockey, India wins finals of FIH Men's Series, defeating South Africa 5-1 at Bhubaneswar. And Indian women's compound team bags 2 bronze medals in Archery World Championship in Netherlands. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said it is now time for everyone to work for the country's development and called for a collective fight against poverty, unemployment, drought, flood, pollution, corruption and violence. Addressing the 5th meeting of the Governing Council of the NITI Aayog at Rashtrapati Bhavan today, Mr. Modi reiterated that NITI Aayog has a key role to play in fulfilling the mantra of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas. The Prime Minister said that everyone at this platform has a common goal of achieving a new India by 2022. He described Swachh Bharat Abhiyan and PM Awas Yojana as illustrations of what the centre and the states can accomplish together. He said that empowerment and ease of living have to be provided to each and every Indian. Mr. Modi added that the goal to make India a $5 trillion economy by 2024 is challenging but can surely be achieved. He said states should recognize their core competence and work towards raising GDP targets right from the district level. Describing water as an important element for life, the Prime Minister said the poor bear the brunt of insufficient water conservation efforts. He said the newly created Jal Shakti Ministry will help provide an integrated approach to water. He urged the states to also integrate their efforts towards water conservation and management. The Prime Minister called for effective steps to tackle drought. He said the spirit of per drop, more crop needs to be promoted. Reiterating the government's commitment to double incomes of farmers by 2022, he said this requires focus on fisheries, animal husbandry, horticulture, fruits and vegetables. He said the benefits of PM Kisan, Kisan Samman Nidhi and other farmer-centric schemes should reach the intended beneficiaries well within time. On the health sector, the Prime Minister mentioned the target of eliminating tuberculosis by 2025. He urged those states who have not implemented PMJAY under Ayushman Bharat so far to come on board this scheme at the earliest. The Prime Minister announced the creation of a high-powered committee on structural reforms in agriculture. Briefing media after the meeting, NITI Aayog Vice Chairman Rajiv Kumar said rainwater harvesting, drought situation and relief measures, aspirational districts and security-related items were among the items of the agenda of the meeting. He said all these issues were deliberated upon during the meeting. This was the first meeting of the Governing Council after the new government took over. The Union Government has convened an all-party meeting in New Delhi tomorrow ahead of the Parliament session. The session will commence on the 17th of this month and continue till the 26th of July. During the meeting, the government will seek the support of the opposition parties to ensure smooth functioning of both the houses of Parliament. Besides the Triple Talaq Bill, the bills likely to be introduced in Parliament are the Central Educational Institutions Reservation in Teachers Cadre Bill and Aadhaar and Other Laws Amendment Bill 2019. President Ramnath Kovind will address the joint sitting of the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha on the 20th of this month. The Economic Survey will be presented on the 4th of July and the budget on the 5th of July. The much-awaited cabinet expansion of the Maharashtra government will take place tomorrow. Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis made the announcement in this regard in Mumbai today. Union Minister of State for Social Justice Ramdas Atawale said his partyman Avinash Mahatekar will be inducted in the Maharashtra cabinet. The centre has asked the states to consider enacting specific legislation for protecting doctors and medical professionals. Union Health Minister Dr. Vardhan has written to all the chief ministers in this regard in view of the recent assault on doctors in West Bengal. He also forwarded the draft act provided by the IMA, the Protection of Medical Service Persons and Medical Service Institutions, Prevention of Violence and Damage or Loss of Property Act 2017. He further drew attention to take strict action against any person who assaults doctors. Our correspondent reports that representatives from the Indian Medical Association and the Delhi Medical Association also called on the Health Minister today.
The Health Minister said doctors are an important pillar of society and often work under stressful and difficult conditions. In his letter, he stressed on the need for avoiding such incidents in future. He said law enforcement should prevail so that doctors and clinical establishments discharge their duties without fear of any violence. He added that strict action against any person who assaults doctors must be ensured. Yesterday, Dr. Vardhan had met a delegation of Resident Doctors Association of AIIMS and other hospitals and assured them his support and cooperation. With Anand Kumar, Suparna Sengya, Air News, Delhi.
Meanwhile, the Union Home Ministry has issued another advisory to the West Bengal government on the ongoing strike by doctors and sought a report on the matter urgently. Earlier, West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has said that the state government is committed towards resuming normal medical services at the earliest. She was addressing a press conference at State Secretariat Nabonno this afternoon following a meeting with the senior doctors which failed to bring out any solution to the present stalemate. The Chief Minister made a fresh appeal to the striking doctors to resume their services for the sake of the poor patients. West Bengal Governor K. Srinath Tripathi had written to the Chief Minister urging her to take immediate steps to provide security to the doctors. Earlier, the resident doctors of AIIMS, Delhi, have resumed work amidst the ultimatum to the West Bengal government to resolve the issue of striking doctors within 48 hours. The centre has also sought a report from the West Bengal government on measures taken to contain political violence and investigate such incidents of violence to bring the culprits to book. Sources said the Home Ministry, in an advisory issued to the state government, pointed out the growing number of incidents of election-related and political violence and casualties over 4 years from 2016 to 2019. Union Health Minister Dr. Vardhan will visit Muzaffarpur tomorrow, where he will take stock of the situation which has arisen due to encephalitis. Dr. Vardhan will visit Sri Krishna Medical College and Hospital along with Kejriwal Hospital, where encephalitis-affected children are undergoing treatment. In Muzaffarpur, Dr. Vardhan will also hold discussion with health officials of the centre and the state. He will be accompanied by Union Minister of State for Health, Ashwini Kumar Chaubey. Meanwhile, State Health Secretary Sanjay Kumar has said that besides providing medical facilities at Muzaffarpur, all arrangements have been made at primary health centre level to tackle the disease.
12 जिलों के 222 प्रखंडों में
We have made elaborate arrangements in the primary health centers of 222 blocks in 12 districts. We are following a specially drawn standard operative procedure. Advisory has been issued. But it's also a fact that the number of cases found this year were never seen before.
जितने संख्या में केसेस प्रतिवेदित हो रहे हैं वो विगत के वर्षों में नहीं हुए.
So far, 75 deaths have been reported due to acute encephalitis syndrome, AES, in which the maximum have been reported from Muzaffarpur and adjoining areas. Union Minister of State for Home, NITI today said a comprehensive study would be done in the encephalitis-affected areas and experts would try to find out the exact cause of the disease so that its further spread will be contained. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. The central government has started Pradhan Mantri Jan Aushadhi Kendras with an aim to give economic relief to poor people from buying costly medicines from the open market. A report.
In Uttarakhand, Pradhan Mantri Jan Aushadhi Kendras have been established at various places to give relief to the patients from overpriced cost of medicines. with the establishment of Pradhan Jan Aushadhi Kendras in Bageshwar district hospital campus, people are getting life-saving medicines at cheaper rates. Now, patients are not forced to buy expensive medicines from the open market. These Kendras have greatly benefited the common man, and people in general are happy with this scheme.
मेरा नाम लीला है, मैं बैसानी गांव बागेश्वर से हूँ और ये बागेश्वर में जो जन औषधि केंद्र है, यहाँ से जो मेडिसिन मिल रही है वो कम कीमत में मिल रही है, जिससे कि पब्लिक को बहुत बेनिफिट हो रहा है.
Earlier, the patients were bound to purchase expensive life-saving medicines of private companies, but after establishment of Pradhan Jan Aushadhi Kendra, people are getting cheaper medicines, which is up to 60% of the earlier prices of the medicines. Raghavesh Pandey, AIR News, Dehradun.
External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar has said that terrorism poses the gravest threat to the people in Asia, and terrorists and their victims must never be equated. He was speaking at the 5th Conference on Interaction and Confidence-Building Measures in Asia (SICA) Summit in Tajikistan capital Dushanbe today. Mr. Jaishankar said the 21st century is being hailed as the Asian century, and SICA can surely play a useful role in promoting peace, security and development in Asia.
Terrorists and their victims must never be equated. SICA has always shown a strong commitment to combat terrorism and extremism and adopt a comprehensive strategy to combat them. Finalization of the Comprehensive Convention on International Terrorism proposed by India is today even more essential, and we seek your support.
A unique reciprocal expedition by the Defence Forces of India and Sri Lanka came into effect today with the visit of a 159-member delegation to Sri Lanka and simultaneous departure of a 162-member team of Sri Lankan forces to India, accompanied by spouses. Our correspondent has filed this report.
The Indian team will visit Sri Lankan cities of Kandy and Galle during their 4-day stay, while Sri Lankan team is scheduled to visit Buddhist pilgrim sites in Bodh Gaya, Rajgir and Nalanda. The main purpose of visit is to increase interaction and bonhomie between defence forces of two nations. It comes soon after PM Modi's solidarity visit to Sri Lanka after Easter Sunday attack and shows improved security scenario in the country. This is biggest ever Indian delegation with their family members visiting Sri Lanka, while the Sri Lankan team had visited last year. Sri Lankan Army Chief said such exchanges benefit both sides and is a model for other countries to cooperate in defence sector. Santosh Kumar for AIR News from Colombo.
The Indian women's compound archery team came from behind to down Turkey by 3 points and win 2 bronze medals in the World Championships in the Netherlands today. Jyoti Surekha led the fight back as the Asian Games silver medalist overcame a jittery start to shoot 6 perfect 10s out of 8 arrows to seal a 229-226 win and open their account. In the FIH Men's Series Finals, India defeated South Africa by 5-1 in a summit clash at the Kalinga Stadium in Bhubaneswar this evening. The goals were scored in the 2nd, 11th, 25th, 36th and 50th minutes. Earlier today, a match was held between Japan and USA for the 3rd and 4th positions. Japan defeated USA 4-2. In FIH Women's Series Finals, India comfortably beat Uruguay 4-1 in the first Pool A match at Hiroshima in Japan this evening. In the ICC Cricket World Cup, chasing a victory target of 335 runs, Sri Lanka were 170 for 2 in 28.3 overs against defending champions Australia in London a short while ago. Captain Aaron Finch made a fine 153 for Sri Lanka. Dhananjay De Silva and Isuru Udana bagged 2 wickets each, and Lasith Malinga won. In another match at Cardiff, Afghanistan was 69 for 2 in 20 overs against South Africa when rain stopped play for the second time. And now, before we end this bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi calls for a collective fight against poverty, corruption and violence. Addressing Governing Council of NITI Aayog, Mr. Modi says everyone has to work towards achieving the goal of New India by 2022. Sent our states to consider enacting specific legislation for protecting doctors and medical professionals. Death toll due to encephalitis in Bihar rises to 75. Health Minister Dr. Vardhan to visit the state tomorrow to take stock of the situation. In hockey, India wins finals of FIH Men's Series, defeating South Africa 5-1 at Bhubaneswar, and Indian women's compound team bags 2 bronze medals in Archery World Championship in Netherlands. And that is all in the news at 9. Good night.